How's it going, guys? Sean here again from The Relocationist, where we help people, individuals and families like yourselves with their relocation goals here to Mexico. And in today's video, I want to give you my top 10 tips to help make this move here as successful as possible. Tip number 1, you're normal, you're known, you're familiar can be had anywhere. Although living in a new destination can come with its share of newness, it doesn't have to be so otherworldly. For those of you that seek out comfort and routine, I want you to know that that can be had here too if you so choose to pursue that. Just because you're on the other side of the world doesn't mean your world's flipped upside down. As a family of 5, we still get up, we make breakfast, maybe take the dogs for a walk, maybe we'll play a little bit in the morning, we'll get ready for lunch. If you do put your kids in school, you can have them in school all day. Maybe you go to the store, grab some groceries, maybe your kids in piano lessons or horse riding. Then you pick them up, then you take them, you go for dinner, or you cook dinner at home. Then you start thinking about bedtime, maybe have a bath, get PJs ready, brush teeth, and go to bed. The routine here, whether you're in Mexico, Canada, or Timbuktu, it doesn't have to be that different if you're routine driven. Expect bad days, but don't fret. Of course, bad days can happen anywhere, but maybe refrain from the idea that, oh, well, maybe this isn't working out and I should go home. Almost like that isn't even an option. Then you might chalk up those bad days to be nothing more than just a bad day. Think about this. If you have a bad day right now, you don't automatically think, oh, I need to leave this country, or this isn't for me. Maybe if you're Canadian you do, but don't think like that here. If you erase the idea from your mind that you have this fallback plan, or that you have this safety net to run back home to, then you may eliminate the idea of entertaining that option. If you constantly sit here and think or dwell, am I doing the right thing, or maybe this isn't working out, then it may push you to make that return trip home. Now, almost contradicting that point is knowing that it doesn't have to be a forever game. You're not a failure if it doesn't work out. Simply understanding that your country of origin isn't going anywhere. It's not upping and leaving. This isn't a one-way ticket. You can make U-turns. And simply knowing this can sometimes alleviate that pressure of the move abroad and a lot of uneasiness that we tend to build up. Sometimes leaving your country of origin can feel like the most isolating, harebrained, irrational, illogical, crazy, thoughtless idea known to man. And it can feel pretty lonely, where nobody really, truly, genuinely supports you. The only thing you have on your side going for you is maybe who's under your roof and a strong gut feeling. I want you guys to know that even if you're in that current situation right now, once you cross that bridge and make it to the other side, I promise you that transition's glorious. Because when you get here, you are completely and immediately surrounded by a whole world of people who think, who decide, who act like you, who made the same decision to leave their homeland. And you kind of wonder, where were all of you guys back home? How come I had none of this where I'm from? But when I come here to this new destination, I'm surrounded by it. I'm surrounded by like-minded people. It's a pretty liberating feeling when you get here and you see a bunch of people who share the same values, same beliefs, and a like-mindedness. It's a togetherness. And there's a lot of us here, I promise. Like that old saying, if they boo from the sidelines, it's because they're afraid to step on the field and play the game. Come down here, trust me, it's a lot of fun. Remember, especially all you parents out there, I'm going to take a page out of Andrew Henderson's book right now. There are 252 countries and territories in the world. The idea that yours is currently best at everything is pretty egregious. Trust me, there's fantastic healthcare systems, programs, services, schooling options, educational arrangements all around the world that oftentimes are better than what you know back home. I can guarantee you, you will be pleasantly surprised with what the world has to offer. Don't confuse your known with being the best. Number 6, don't hide behind the gates. It's really easy to familiarize yourself with your own kind. When we emigrate to new countries, we tend to kind of flock and gravitate towards our own breed, which is comforting, it's familiar, which tends to lead us to gated communities, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's really difficult to truly and genuinely adapt and learn a new culture and your new surroundings from a perspective of an outsider. Accept an invite to that local's house, attend their family celebrations, visit that rural village and be a part of their ceremonies. By embracing another's perspective will help mitigate the frustrations from all these cultural differences. Really wipe the slate clean. This is one of those times I would say step back and observe and watch and learn from the outside in. This is what 95% of us expats don't do, is we try to move down here and impose and instill our perspectives, our way of life onto this new country and wonder why we're frustrated at the end. Try to embrace the newness. Watch how they do things, what they do, and why they do it. When you can think like this, it helps eliminate some of that friction and resentment we have with learning a new culture. We may not agree or we may not understand, trust me, I know, but foreign countries aren't meant to make us feel comfortable, they're meant to make their own people feel comfortable. When we can realize this and sort of surrender to that normalcy that exists, life will be much better. I would ask you, if you're only moving here to live the exact same existence that you did back home, then why are you moving here in the first place? The lowered cost of living, the sandy beaches, the tasty margaritas won't be enough to keep you, because you'll be constantly fighting against that unfamiliar. Start to absorb the new way of life, new foods, new tastes, new ingredients, new products, new personal care options, new loudness, new craziness, all of it, you name it. Don't try to change the place, change you. Number 8, I would highly advise, please slow it down, relax, take a breather. You don't have to know all the information right away. You will grow into it. So many try to come here and before they've even stepped foot in the country, they want to know what house they're buying, what location they're going to live in, what bank account they're opening up, what school their kids are going to, and they haven't even sniffed the Mexican air. Get yourself here, get your feet wet, get a lay of the land. So much will change in that transition. That's a transformative time. Believe in it, trust in it. If you can learn to operate within the context of the unknown, you build a sort of resilience, a sort of confidence inside of you. You just know that your journey will be a successful one. We all want to have all the answers to everything right away, and it can build up a lot of frustrations, a lot of anxiety. Relax, breathe, come here, we'll sort it for you. Lastly, but not least, there comes in a point when in everyone's relocation journey where the dust settles. You sort of get to a point where that honeymoon phase, but I don't like to use that word, but the palm trees, the beaches, the warm weather that brought you all those feels sort of fizzles out, and you sort of sit back and say, oh, this is my new world, this is my new life. A lot of us come here to these countries envisioning dream lives and these high expectations, and then that transforms into reality. We sort of think we're leaving this grind, this 9-to-5 back home, as if that only exists there. It doesn't exist anywhere else, but it does. It exists everywhere. You still have to make ends meet. You still have to put food on the table. You still have to grind it out on the day-to-day. It's just with a different language, or maybe a warmer climate, or some new cuisines. That point will happen. You can anticipate it, but embrace it. You are exactly where you need to be. Don't read into it too much, because it's only momentary. A lot of times, maybe we'll just take a little vacation or a little weekend trip to kind of explore, spread your wings, no different than you might do in your normal home location. And it kind of brings you back up to speed again, kind of refreshes you. But in saying all that, I hope this helps, guys. If you have any other tips, tricks, hacks, leave them below. There's so many out there. I've covered 9. There's 900 of them. But I just wanted to try to dive a little bit deeper to get into the why, the mindset behind your move, to make sure you really understand, really know what you're getting yourself into. Hope you guys have a wicked day. We'll talk to you soon.